I am proud to introduce my friend Udi here. If he's off mute, I'm going to hand him the screen. Udi, may I hand you the screen, sir?
I just have to ask you a question. Did I write I love pancakes? I don't remember writing that.
I believe I contributed that useful tip.
Yeah, no, I did mention on Twitter today pancakes, so that may have something to do with it.
Well, I also love pancakes as well. Any kind of flatbreads in the pan covered with butter or something good.
Yeah, I think my last message was about pancakes, so it's an odd coincidence. But, yeah, no, it's just everything else is correct, and I love pancakes, but never mind. So I just want to refine 2 points that Larry mentioned. The networks, affiliate networks, I would classify them as, more physical products and CPA networks. And the physical products, normally networks like Commission Junction, ClickBank, ShareSales, they almost auto-approve you or even auto-approve you, whereas the CPA networks are harder to get approved, like Market Leverage, Neverblue, ClickBoost. For example, ClickBoost actually has an exam you need to do. And it's not a very easy exam. I mean, you really need to take notes. They prepare you. And many times they reject you. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't take it personally. Sometimes I get rejected. I got rejected for really no reason. Other times I was welcomed and, I got like senior affiliate managers to take care of me. I was advised, and I know this does work, that persistence, as Larry said, best to call them. One network didn't accept me, and I just bugged them a few times, and eventually they did accept me. I mean, it's just about pushing them, because unless there's any real reason, sometimes you just fall between the cracks. So, in case you,
I don't want to interrupt. I didn't mean to interrupt. I apologize. Is there anything on your screen, because we're having the same thing that happened with Larry?
No, I do have something, but it's kind of not relevant. I mean, I will show it. Yeah.
No, I could take the screen back. Or yeah, you got
no,
it.
It's okay. I just put it. I mean, I don't know if you see it. Do you see my screen?
Yep, it's a niche finding method document.
Yeah, because that was one of the questions I was asked last time, and I thought this is a good place to start with SEO. However, I just wanted to mention that because it makes a big difference with regards to being accepted to affiliate networks or not. And in principle, you just need to know what to tell them when they call an interview, because CPA networks almost always call an interview. You just need to say what you're going to promote, how you're going to promote it, whether you have a website, whether you use PPC or not, things like that. As for SEO, I've been mainly doing, my income is basically SEO based. I have been doing PPC as well, but more SEO. Also because it's free, so it's easier to start with. And one question I was asked last time was, how do you come up with ideas for websites? And the goal is basically to find a niche that both can generate a decent income and it has a relatively low amount of competition. And there are many, many, many ways of doing that. And I kind of summarized 10 ways. They both, some are, I mixed two things. One is keyword research, and one is brainstorming, even though they're the same thing in many ways. So I mentioned last time the Google Keywords tool. I don't know whether I should go through that again. Darren? Should I? Okay, I will then. I mean, unless anyone wants me to stop.
I was muted out. I apologize. Yeah, definitely. We went through the Google tool a little bit last week. I think it would be worthwhile to touch on it again, though.
Okay. So suppose I'll just make up an example. Suppose we wanted to have a website about ties. Say I'll write ties. And I assume you can see my screen. So the Google Keyword tool is free and is really
actually, we're only seeing the Word doc. I think you have the multi-screen issue I had.
Oh, yeah. So let me see. How do I share it?
Underneath your admin panel on the top, it should read on screen. There's an option for which screen. When you select it, it should flash on the current monitor.
Yeah,
cool. I got it.
Yeah. So I wrote ties and I entered the CAPTCHA. It just gives me keyword ideas. So one thing that's important is to show the average estimated CPC. So suppose CPC is cost per click. So this is more for PPC marketers, meaning if you bid on it in Google, that's what you're going to pay per click. However, if you do an SEO-based website, it kind of gives you a good idea how much you're going to get if you have AdSense on. And AdSense is basically you're putting Google ads on your website. So I'll sort it according to search volume. And you can see the word ties, there's more than 2 million searches. So suppose you could rank for that, meaning you have a website that if someone Googles ties, you get to it, then you'll get 2 million searches. I mean, if you're number one. And that's phenomenal. I won't even try with a one-word keyword because it's usually too competitive. However, we can see there are more. We can see men's ties, for example. There are 40,000 searches. And you can also see the number of sites. Wait a moment. Can you see it here? Okay, so that's another tool I'll later show. You can see Armani ties, for example, and you see the cost per click, the number of searches. And it really gives you plenty of ideas to go through. For example, ladies ties. I wouldn't, I'm kind of surprised by that, but apparently there's 800 searches for ladies ties per month. So that may be a niche worth going to. Certainly the cost per click is worth it. Another tool is Word Tracker. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I will share this list. There's a paid version and there's a free version. And I used originally the paid version, which is very, very good. But the free version is also as good. So what was it? Ladies ties. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so it shows 2 searches a day. So ladies ties, so the free word tracker doesn't show you the number of websites that compete. The paid one does. So you could also not just see how many searches you get, but also how many websites you get. But as you can see, the advantage of word tracker is that it gives you very, very specific phrases. So for example, ladies cargo pants with ties is, you get 1 search per month. And that's very useful. I'll enter something generic, like a DVD. Maybe not DVD, but magazine. And you'll see there's so many things you could focus on, and you see the number of searches. For example, if you have a website that mentions focuses on ranking for U.S. weekly magazine online, then you would get 1,200, almost 1,300 searches a day. So that's one way to start brainstorming. Unfortunately, with this version, you can't really see the competition, but however, with the Google keyword tool, you can get, based on the cost per click, the idea, and with the paid keyword tool, word tracker, you do get the number of sites. So that's just another way of doing brainstorming. There are many, many other tools. I don't know, Darren, should I continue with this?
Please do. Please do. Let me see if there's any questions popped up from the... no, everyone's clicking along. Please continue.
Yeah, as you can see, there's quite a lot of ways to do research and things like that. I guess the third one should be the MSN AdLabs commercial intent tool. This is something that when I started, I wasn't aware of, and I kind of regret it because it's very possible. I'll give you an example. I won't say the site I created, but it's possible to create a website that has good search volume, low competition. However, no one is willing to buy. I mean, it's just an information-based website. And I've done that, and it kind of sucks. You get decent volume, you get visitors, but no one buys anything. No one clicks on the ads. And you get very frustrated because everything is supposed to work. So Microsoft actually has this really nice tool which you enter a phrase, and it just tells you the likelihood of it's going to be a buying phrase or not. And I wish I knew it before I started. Later I found out about it. Let's see if it works. It's really it works quite well. So I would guess that ladies' neckties is probably a buying phrase. I mean, I don't think many people would look for that just for information, but let's see. So, query, ladies. It's probably not the best idea for websites because the search volume is too low, but still for example purposes, I think it will do. Let's see. I really have to applaud both Google and Microsoft because they have a lot of really free tools that are very, very good. I mean, yeah, there's tons of paid tools, and Market Samurai, which I mentioned last time, is fantastic. But you could do almost everything without paying anything. So commercial intention, 98%. So almost for certain, if someone Googles that or looks on Bing, he or she wants to buy ladies' neckties. That's important when you do brainstorming. I'll move to a different type. Oh, you know, before that, I'll just do another thing. Like the Google Trends. I'll take the website. It's very useful because, for example, sometimes I had a friend, more of a mentor really, that focused on Halloween. And he created hundreds of websites all around Halloween. Sorry. Do you see my screen? Just so I'm sure. So if you look in Google Trends, you can see that around a specific time of year, there's a lot of searches. And you can even see in which countries, United States, Ireland, Canada. So you could target a website just for that reason. For example, I'll do ladies' neckties. It's going to be my trademark search. And I'm guessing there's no pattern for that. Well, there isn't even enough data. But it's very useful if you want to do some periodic affiliate marketing for a specific occasion, like Halloween or Christmas or things like that. Just out of curiosity, I'll enter Christmas trees. Probably same thing. Yeah, slightly later, December, not surprising. Another category of way to find ideas is PayPal shops. I'm skipping ahead, but I'll share the document. And many of them are basically the same thing, just different ways. So PayPal, I don't know if you're familiar with it, is basically a kind of a, how would I summarize PayPal? You could pay someone through it without requiring to give your credit card details. And it's extremely useful. I mean, I've outsourced work, say, to India, and PayPal is really the only way you can pay them. I think my link is broken, so I'll use another example. So eBay popular searches. eBay, as you all know, is a site where people buy things. So if something is popular, then it may be a good idea to look at this category. Let's see. So, and you can always, for example, popular searches, iPod. Not surprising, digital camera, Xbox. I'm not surprised, it all sounds like things you'd find these days. But the nice thing is you could drill down. For example, let's go to dolls and bears. And we can see American Girl doll is popular, Barbie dolls. Fashion royalty. What is Jean doll? Let's click on Barbie dolls. I think you can even drill down on that. Clearly, if people are searching for it, then it may be a good idea to have a website dedicated to it. I would not do it without consulting the other tools, but it's very, very good for brainstorming. As you can see, I mean, do you see my marking the screen? There's dolls, dollhouse miniatures, wholesale lots, paper dolls. So it's really a fantastic way of getting ideas. And there are many, many ways of doing that. Amazon, you can look at Amazon categories, it's the same thing. Shopping.com, popular searches. What I was trying to do, PayPal allows you to do it as well. And overall, these are really, really good ways of just finding ideas for niche websites. I wouldn't advise for going after really broad niches. The very first website I created, or the second actually, was the whole green and wellness industry. And I targeted such a huge industry. That website was never a huge commercial success. It was just too big. So, but if you do something like, you know, maybe not ladies' neckties, but something similar, you could quite easily get to the first page of Google, and it could pay quite well. And if you have 30 of those, then you could get a pretty decent income rather quickly. And that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this section, unless there's more. But if there's questions, please let me know. Or maybe I can actually see them this time. No, I only see Darren.
No, we can see you.
This is Larry. Can you hear
The
me?
question came in from Lisa Blacker with, how soon does PayPal pay?
Immediately. What do you mean? You mean as just using it? It's immediate. I use it all the time. And I've been both paid and with it and paid other people with it, and it's immediate. They take a very small commission, but it's totally worth it. If you buy physical products, they even guarantee you. I recently discovered, to my surprise, that if you buy software, they don't guarantee it, which was an unpleasant surprise. But overall, PayPal is a good service. It just allows you to outsource things. But I was using it for brainstorming. I couldn't. I mean, my link. I can try to Google it. My link was broken. So let's see. I know I need to change my. Well, let me search for it. Let's see if I can find it. PayPal shop. I know you can't see anything I'm doing. At least I assume that's the case. Can you see my screen? So it's the same as I mentioned before. So for example, I'll click on gifts. And you can see the number of transactions that were done with flowers. 161,000 transactions. The Fred shop, whatever it may be, discount electric guitars, almost 20,000. So this gives you a good idea what works and what doesn't. For example, Delight.com, 2 transactions. So whatever that is, I wouldn't go in that direction. Wine, almost 279 transactions recently. So that may be a nice niche as well. I'm guessing it's competitive, but if you look hard enough, there's tons of information just waiting for someone to build a website. Gourmet cheese. Actually sounds like a really good idea. Probably something I would have gone for. Because I'm guessing it's not that competitive, but anyway, this is very, very good for brainstorming. And in addition to the other research, you could very accurately estimate the search volume, the competition, how much you're going to get paid if you use AdSense, and just create a website that works. I mean, based on SEO. I'm not discussing PPC or anything of the sort. So, any questions?
Just checking here. There's no immediate questions on the screen, but some people may circle back at the end for our Q&A. This is some awesome data for people, Udi. Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure. I mean, I have it all summarized, so for next time I have other things. This is a good start.
Darren, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know, one thing I wanted to add on about the eBay aspect. I have successfully used eBay where I've gone through their eBay categories, and I literally copied down all these different categories. And now I put them in like a notepad format, and I got rid of the things, and I went and I searched for domain names out of these eBay categories for brainstorming. And I picked up a couple of these categories. One was kind of towards antique sewing machines. I grabbed the .com version, and eBay is my main affiliate for that site. I have some other sewing machine things oriented on it. But I was able to grab a great domain name, and on that site it produces me, upwards to $200 a month in income. So eBay is great for brainstorming as far as for finding domain names, and it's great for finding these little niches that people just kind of forget about and don't go after. And so always, use these tools that are kind of out there that sometimes people don't use as tools. It could be for grabbing domain names or finding these little niches. Anything that I see product categories in these websites, a lot of times I'll do domain searches for these categories and see if any of these domains are available. And I've used it successfully several times, a number of times.
I would even expand on that. First, I agree with every word you said. But even if they're not available, even if the .com, the .net, and the .org are taken, many times they're just using for parking. So you'll see ads. So I'll give you an example. I went for a really competitive domain name, and I saw all the top-level domains were taken, but the .biz one wasn't. So I thought, you know, I could probably beat them in SEO if I make a real website, and I did, easily. So the fact that it's taken, I mean, with like with .ws, it may be harder. But, you know, even if those top-level domains, .com, .net, .org, then it still may worth it to go after it. I have a lot of successful sites that are not .com.
You're exactly right. I've got .com, .net, .org, .info, .biz, and .us sites out there.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
when I'm building a site, the .com, it isn't critical for what I want to do. Sure, it's great to have that, but it's not necessary.
No, it's not. It's the best, but it's not necessary. And it's important to know.